I'm going to show you how to complete the Lion's Den quest in Kingdom Come Deliverance II. So after the Exodus quest, the story quest, you need to head to the Devil's Den and speak to Ziska here. If you haven't already exhausted all of his dialogue when you first reached the Devil's Den some time ago, he may give you the Devil's Pack quest, another lengthy quest, which I've already completed. You can actually do that quite early. So once you've spoken to Ziska and he gives you the Lion's Den quest, before you head off and progress that, speak to Hans here. He's hanging around the Devil's Den here. And just select the dialogue options to go hunting to unlock a quest called Like Old Times. So follow him for 5 minutes. It's a good idea to do as many content as you can to get the Been There Done That trophy achievement by completing most of the game content. So speak to Hans, select any of these dialogue options. Depending on your playstyle, you can attack them straight out or just basically use stealth. I'm going to use my charisma and charm and make them run off. So stick around, there's some important information you don't want to miss. This guide for the Lion's Den, I'm going to show you how to get the trophy achievement, the Hydra's head, and 2 quests you don't want to miss, which is only available during the Lion's Den quest. So the first quest we're doing now, called Like Old Times. So we just made them run off. Use my charisma and charm. It's up to your playstyle what you want to do. But speak to Hans again and you'll fast travel back to the Devil's Den, and then we can progress the Lion's Den quest that we got from Ziska here. The next step in the guide is to head to Sigismund's camp, and you need to speak to Catherine. She's located at the baths in the camp. Now you can't speak to her during the day, she's going to ask you to come back later. So just pass the time to the time I've selected here if you like, and then speak to her at late in the evening there, where it's nearly night time, and exhaust all of her dialogue options. She's going to ask you to find a character called Crow, because you now need to get enlisted with the camp. So the next step after speaking with Catherine is just find Crow. He's wandering around the camp, so you'll find his marker here. It will be moving because he does walk around. So find Crow, speak to Crow, and he's follow him to a tent where you need to speak to Katz, and just select the dialogue options to get enlisted, and that's the next stage in the Lion's Den quest. So in the previous step, Katz has tasked us with an objective to find the lost soldiers. So you need to speak to Musa. He's just in the infirmary here. Speak to Musa and he's going to actually give you another objective where you can help one of the patients here. It is optional, so it's up to you if you want to do it at all, but I'll show you anyway. So this is Musa, part of the Find the Lost Soldiers quest. This is part 1 of the guide for this quest. Now once you spoke to Musa, you'll get an option to help the wounded Myshek, and he's just here. This is just an optional thing. So if you exhaust and select all the different speech checks to diagnose him, then you can give him a potion. You can only use the strong cockerel. Now once you progress the lost soldiers, you now need to deal with the lost soldiers. They're located down here, and they're hidden upstairs in this building here. You'll see a red cart in the middle of the courtyard here. Just head into this door here. It won't be locked. Now if you want to complete another objective where you deal with the soldiers, which is basically you're going to have to kill them. You can do it all in stealth, just pick lock this chest here, but otherwise if you want to complete the objectives where you need to deal with the soldiers, you need to take them out. So I recommend taking this guy out here first because his bed's separate, because you'll always disturb the next person right next to them if there's 2 sleeping together. So I'll stealth attack him. Now these 2 are together, so one's going to wake up. So I'll take this guy out as well, and the other one will wake up, but he won't have any weapons, so you can just kill him with your sword. Now there's another 2 downstairs as well, but I recommend doing these 3 first, because the other 2, they're going to run up here and try and get their gear out of the chest, so they're not going to have any weapons as well, because if you try and take them out first, at the bottom, they're going to run up here and get their swords and everything. So take these 2 out while they're trying to make their way to the chest, otherwise they'll try and fist you with their fist fights. Otherwise take them out while they're unarmed. So once you've taken these 2 out, then we can get the quest item. So you can either loot the corpse for a set of keys. Now we're going to have to kill him to complete the objective, but yeah, you can either loot the corpse for a set of keys for the decorated chest we need to open. Otherwise you can just pick lock it, because it's only a medium difficulty chest. So one of them will have the key, otherwise this is the chest we need to unlock. So just pick lock the chest, and you need this item here, the Lost Charter for the King Sigismund. And there's about 300 Goshen in here as well, and a nice saddle as well. So once you've looted the chest, we've dealt with the lost soldiers, head back to the camp, and we need to speak to Katz again, and that's going to progress the quest. But this is now going to complete the objectives for the deal with the lost soldiers. At this point, Katz will reward you with a new Waffen Rock coat, which for some reason automatically gets provisioned on you like that. And now we're going to progress the Lion's Den quest. After celebrating with Katz, after dealing with the previous step in the guide to deal with the lost soldiers, there's going to be a cutscene where someone has killed Chertan. So now you need to solve a murder, and you need to investigate certain points around this area. So the first point is this blood on the ground here. You see down the bottom right there, you'll get the prompt to examine it. And after you've examined the blood, you actually need to head on in here and examine the gunpowder. Now once you've examined the gunpowder, you now need to go and examine the wash tub with blood all over it. So that's just over here. Examine the wash tub. And this is going to progress the quest where we can now go and search. Well, first of all, we'll need to speak to Katz and tell him what we've found. Right. And I do recommend just siding with Musa instead of accusing him.
I found out a lot of things.
Can someone explain what the fuck happened?
But he...
Oh, calm down.
But what was...
What nonsense is...
So,
where did you get...
As I... It is not...
That's it. Wait, I have no... Chertan was...
So?
With one of them.
Are you sure?
I
don't...
No.
There's no way...
The lad...
Might...
You... Please, we won't...
So I'm supposed to... But... Move and my...
Where do you think you're going, Henry? Stay here. And talk.
Well, sir...
I'm good. That's what I'd like to know. We have to find the real murderer as quickly as possible.
You really don't have any idea what to do.
Help.
But...
There's like...
Me?
Who else? I need... You have to...
Well, I know one of the bathhouse wenches.
Nah, off.
How much?
2 days. And Henry.
The next objective is to speak to Musa again, but he's going to be under some sort of house arrest and there'll be a guard there in the way. So before we speak to Musa, we want to head over to the baths again and speak to Catherine. Now when you speak to Catherine, exhaust all of the dialogue options here, but these are the two you need to select to progress the quest. You can do the lure the guard away from Musa, but she's going to ask for your help first, so that's where you need to select the other one. What can I do for you? And if you select that, she's going to unlock a new quest called the Stalker, which is only available during the Devil's Den quest. Sorry, the Lion's Den quest. So unlock the Stalker quest with Catherine to help her out, and once you've done that, then she'll distract the guard for you, where you can speak to Musa. So all you need to do is pass the time, but not in the tent. So once you've unlocked the Stalker quest, get out of the tent, just head over here, and just pass the time. So you can use what I've selected here. And when the time passes, then you'll see the Stalker standing at the front there. So just confront the Stalker and select the following dialogue options I select. You don't want to kill him. I think Catherine did indicate he didn't want to get hurt. So just select these dialogue options if you like. And that's going to complete the Stalker quest. And then we can speak to Catherine again and select the other options about distracting the guards, so we can then speak to Musa.
Otherwise, boss some again. You look like you understand. See how easily we... I found the human who was stalking you.
So with the previous step in this guide where we helped Catherine with the Stalker, now we can ask her to help us with the guard. So speak to Catherine after we've dealt with that Stalker and select the dialogue option about the guard she needs to distract. So just follow her back to Musa, she'll start talking to the guard. So once she starts talking to the guard, you can actually just head on into the tent and speak to Musa, and there'll be some new objectives that unlock.
Oh, good lord. You must be very important to get...
Right.
Okay, Musa wants us to go back to the infirmary and inspect the corpse, the murder victim, and a book that we need to read. So just the back way here, head through here, the guard doesn't do anything. So all you need to do is examine the corpse, just select all the options that come up to do the examination, and then you also need to open this chest. It's only an easy lock, and that's going to have the book that we need, that you need to read, which is the Book of Poison. So get the Book of Poison out of the chest and just read the full book, and once you've done that, we can head back to Musa.
I read that book. What do you... The potion is called Kiss of Death. But if... Are you... Absolutely certain. Oh, now. You... Wait a moment.
Of course. Go on.
Fattest. Even so, you have done... Of course.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Even if I know, if I think I'll... Good luck.
Alright, so once we've spoken to Musa, you now need to search his tent. There'll be some check markers on your map now, and the closest one is the one we're on now. Search Musa's tent. So just see the prompt down the bottom right there is when you know what you need to examine. So the first thing is this picture here next to the bed, and then the next one is the mat on the floor, and then you've got this shelf here, and then there's another shelf right next to it, and that'll complete the check objective for Musa's tent that we search. So we've completed the objective to search Musa's tent, and now that objective is gone. The next one is now to search Grozav's tent. So just follow where I go now to Grozav's tent and just examine the following items in his tent to clear that objective off your journal.
At least he hasn't had to sell his armor to buy booze yet. Grozav doesn't strike me as a keen reader. Oh, that's Valerian, I believe. It helps relieve pain.
The next objective is to search Stephen Crow's tent. So just follow the check marker on your map to Stephen Crow's tent and just examine the following items that I examined to remove that objective from your journal.
Or was he? The water smells of flowers of some kind. Like roses? Oak. And dry as a bone. Nails. It's crow.
Okay, the next objective we need to mark off our journal is to search the tent of Adalbert and Radovan. So just examine the following items and open that chest as well to mark off that objective of your journal.
I doubt that pair of drunks could have killed Chertan even if they wanted to. Ugh, just a broom. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Once you've completed those objectives in the previous step, you can wait until daytime and you'll have the new quest objective now called Prepare to Defend Musa at the Trial, and you need to kill Grozav. So defending Musa and killing a certain NPC is going to help towards the Hydra's Head trophy achievement. So just select the following dialogue options here for defending Musa and to kill Grozav.
Quickly and quietly. But before we get started, I have to say you've disappointed me, Sir Grozav. King Sigismund placed his trust in you, but you don't seem to be up to the task.
That's not true. I took a few
Oh, there are...
Sir,
I tell...
because I can prove everything I can.
Here, tell...
Well, that's simple, sir. That doesn't... Do you...
Katz, I've...
Chertan was killed by the camp.
What? You say you won't get that and...
So Grozav was most likely trying to steal black powder, but
Me? What?
there was Chertan.
What?
Yes, it seems.
Grozav went to...
What? Well, why?
You brewed it up yourself, and that's
That's an... I've...
Me? The king.
But I
Don't.
keep away from...
Can't.
I'll tear you a new arsehole, you fucker!
Well, Sir Stibor, one problem is cleared up, and another one takes its place.
I wouldn't say that. We've rid the king of one idiot. It's just a pity Chertan had to die because of it. And
What?
that is...
Well,
As you command.
So after the trial, you need to speak to Catherine at the baths and update her about Katz, and then you need to go and speak to Katz again, and you'll leave with him and some of the soldiers from this encampment as a convoy. And what you told Catherine, the convoy will be ambushed. So there will be a combat scene where you need to fight. So with most major fights, you want to give yourself some buffs, any potions you have, or use the bath services as well to give you that buff during combat.
Alright, I'm ready.
So once you've defeated the soldiers, just head over to the front of the convoy here, and this is where you're going to find one of the NPCs, the final NPC that you do need to kill to get that trophy. So head over to Katz, who survived, and kill him. And that gives you that trophy achievement, the Hydra's head. Now loot any of the items that you want and go back and speak to Zeska just nearby, and that's going to complete the quest, and you can have the option to fast travel back. Thanks for watching, hope to see you all next time.